What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. My name is Gregson and welcome to Shifting Lanes. Today I am hanging out at home. I'm still on paternity leave for my job and I'm hanging out in my driveway with my Subaru, and I can finally announce something a little bit more exciting. I bought a 2007 Aston Martin V8 Vantage, and for those of you wondering, yeah, it's that Aston Martin V8 Vantage. For those of you that know the history of this exact car, used to be owned by Doug DeMuro and Tavarish, two really big YouTubers, and I bought it from Tavarish for the sum of $36,000, which is exactly the same price that he paid for it almost 2 years ago. If you hop over to his channel right now, I'll put a link in the description below, you can actually see his goodbye video where he details exactly how much this thing cost him to run over the last 1.5 to 2 years, which, you know, I won't spoil it. Well, actually, yeah, spoiler alert. He paid $0 essentially because he did most of the work himself. And if you go over to his channel, you can see all of the stuff he did to this car. And I'm gonna be detailing that a little bit in this video, but we'll also detail a little bit more in some future videos. So what I wanted to do today was kind of introduce you to the car, tell you what we're gonna do with it, and why this thing is so special and why this thing is such a good value for money. So let's go walk around and check it out. As you're probably wondering by the title, why is this car the most famous Aston Martin V8 Vantage in the world? Well, considering who have owned it, or who has owned it before with Tavarish and Doug DeMuro, it is probably the car that's been seen the most of this particular model of the V8 Vantage in the world. Obviously the Bond cars are a bit more famous for, like, for example, the DB9 is a bit more famous than this car. Pretty much just any other Aston Martin that's been in a movie, the DB10, just any of those Bond kind of cars, or even cars that have been used in other movies, because obviously movie counts are a lot bigger than YouTube. But considering what this car is, who's owned it, I think that this is the most famous Aston Martin V8 Vantage ever made, which is really kind of a cool thing to say, and it's all mine. This is the new Shifting Lanes project car. Now, what can we possibly do to this thing that's going to make it a project car? Doug did a lot of stuff to this car. You can go check out his videos. I'll also put a description, put his link to his channel down below in the description. He drove this car 20,000 miles in the 1 year he owned it, which was pretty crazy. And he has cataloged everything that he did back 2+ years ago with this thing. He drove it to North Dakota. He drove it to 32 states. He also did a bunch of work to it. He replaced the door struts when they weren't closing properly. He put a new clutch in it. He did a bunch of really, really good things maintenance-wise, especially the timing of the engine was off, so he did that. And that was a $4,000 kind of fix. So, after that, he sold it to Freddie for the sum of $36,000. And Freddie did a bunch of things to it, including lowering the car. You can kind of see here, it's definitely a bit lower than it used to be. You can barely even get a finger in there. It used to be about 2, maybe 3. And you can see his video in his playlist for that. So yeah, this car is way lower than stock. He said it's about 3/4 inches of a drop. To me, it looks like more. I'm honestly not sure. I'm gonna take his word for it. I will be raising the car a little bit because my driveway is stupid steep. I'm about 10 to 12, maybe 10 to 15 feet above above the street there, if you can't notice it. I mean, even the Subaru there is pretty low, you can see, and that thing scrapes on every entrance. So we'll definitely be raising this a little bit. But Freddie also put a X-pipe exhaust on this car, and it sounds ridiculous. I'll actually give a start up, some revs, and a dig from zero in another video. This is kind of just an intro video for the car itself. So you can probably see it's a little dirty. It went through a 1,000 mile, yeah, it's disgusting, exhaust here too. Yeah, tons of dirt. So it went through an 1,100 mile journey back from Florida to New Jersey, and that is actually going to be the next video you see on this car. Hanson and Chad actually picked it up from Freddie in Florida, so that is going to be a pretty insane video. I've seen some of the footage from that, and it's just nuts. They drove this exotic sports car, borderline supercar, 1,100 miles and it was faultless. It had no flaws at all. It scraped a little bit, but other than that, engine perfect, ride perfect. In fact, let's check out the inside as I keep talking about this. So this thing has around 65,000 miles on it. It is in pretty good shape, I gotta say, for the mileage. You can see there's a little wear here on the seat. And yeah, there's a little bit of salt and stuff down there, but it's really no worse for wear than anything else. The leather is in really good shape for a car of this age and this type. I mean, you get supercars, you get sports cars, and you know, over time, you know, owners neglect it, and Doug and Freddie did not. They took care of this car like it was their own little baby, and it's awesome, and it's in really, really good condition. Now, the reason why we got it for $36,000 is because it's a little bit older. This car was originally $110,000 to $120,000. Even I think some were doing $125,000 when new. So this is an insane value for the money. I think it is arguably one of the most beautiful cars ever made. So yeah, so what can we do with this thing? I mean, Freddie did a bunch of work. Doug did a bunch of maintenance work. I mean, what is there left to do? Well, it's more than you think. What can we humanly do to this car that they haven't done? I mean, this car does not have forced induction, so we could go with a turbo setup, we could go with a supercharger setup, but outside of that, there's really nothing more we can do performance-wise to this thing that will make it, you know, any faster. I mean, there's a tune. We'll probably end up doing a tune on this thing. But it's been lowered, the suspension's been upgraded, the exhaust has been upgraded, and that should have given about 20 wheel horsepower. This came with about 380 from factory to the crank. So we're gonna get this thing on a dyno and see exactly how many horses this thing has lost over its 11-year life. But what I want to do is kind of bring this thing back to its former glory. It's in really good shape, like I said, but there are some things here and there that I'd like to do with it. There are some stone chips on the front of the car. You know, it wasn't clear brought up front, so there's a ton of stone chips that I want to get kind of taken out. I don't know how we're going to do that yet, but maybe a wrap. I know that's not a huge popular choice sometimes, but maybe a wrap might be good. I want to kind of refresh the interior a little bit. There are some things inside that need to be refreshed. Like you saw, that leather seat is a little bit worn. So I want to take the leather inside and refresh it. I want to take the internals and I want to give them a good once over with a good maintenance with some good maintenance care, as well as maybe even replacing some things. So stay tuned for that. But this thing is unbelievable. I can't believe that Shifting Lanes has this as a project car. It's totally mind-blowing that this is sitting in my driveway and I'm actually going to be the owner of this car. What you might also be wondering is, for our fans, is that we're almost at 10,000 fans, which is blowing my mind. So thank you so much for subscribing to our channel and liking our videos and everything like that. But as you can see, where's the Volvo? And I'll even go in here. Look, there's an empty garage bay. There's nothing. There's no Volvo at all. So what does that mean for the Volvo? Did I sell it? Are we doing anything with it? No, we still have the Volvo. We actually have it stored at a performance and restoration place here in New Jersey called Blue Sky Performance and Restoration. The two guys that own it, Jesse and Jeff, I know them from high school. I actually went to high school with them, and I actually drove Jesse to high school, not in this, in my old 98 Ford Taurus. So I have history with them, and I know them, and I know the kind of work that they do. Go check out their Instagram. It's Blue Sky Performance and Restoration. Just search that on Instagram, and you can see what kind of work they do. It's full restoration. It's unbelievable, and they do performance stuff too. We're gonna have them do the manual swap. We're gonna have them restore the entire car, inside and out, back to way better than OEM. We are gonna change the color of that car. We are gonna change the interior of that car. And it starts as of this week. I'm filming this on a Thursday. Chad and I are going to install our performance exhaust from 88 Fab on Saturday. So that's the first thing that's gonna happen. After that, we're gonna dip the car, because we're working with dipyourcar.com on a few things. And after that, everything else is being done by Blue Sky. So we are gonna have them, the first thing they're gonna do is the manual swap on the Volvo. So it's coming, guys. It's coming in the next few weeks and months. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, we have this now. And this is going to be insane. We're gonna take this everywhere. We're gonna do tunnel runs with this. We're gonna do meets with this. We're gonna change the look of this thing. We're gonna put maybe some new wheels on it, new brakes, maybe wrap it, paint color change. We have to get into this. It's so exciting. I can't believe it. And I'm sorry I'm out of breath. My driveway is just that steep. And it's just an exciting time. So we're super pumped to do this. We can't wait to bring you more videos on this. And yeah, just if you liked this video, sorry it's just a quick intro, but if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe because we are going to have plenty more videos to come with this car, maybe the Subi, and definitely the Volvo. So until then, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. See ya.